Haunting whispers of the Scottish Highlands. The Scottish Highlands had always held a mystical allure for me. I fancied myself an adventurer, someone who could brave the unknown, especially on a solitary drive through the breathtaking expanses of heather and rugged mountain ranges. It was a late autumn evening when I found myself there, the sun dipping beneath the horizon like a guilty secret, casting elongated shadows across the road. My car cruised along the winding paths, illuminated only by the pale beam of my headlights. It was a remote stretch of highway, flanked by sprawling fields and ancient stone walls, their surfaces worn and weathered by centuries. I felt a sense of freedom, punctuated by the thrill of isolation. But as night descended, the atmosphere shifted, a blanket of silence wrapped around the world outside, thick and suffocating. I turned up the radio, seeking distraction from the weight of the darkness enveloping me. That's when I first noticed it, a flicker of movement in the rearview mirror. Something had darted across the road. I dismissed it initially, attributing it to an overactive imagination or perhaps a deer startled by my approach. But soon, as I continued along the road, I saw it again, a shape, pale and fleeting, always just behind the periphery of my vision. In my gut, a sense of unease began to swell. I told myself it was just my mind playing tricks, a natural reaction to the isolation of the Highlands. I turned off the radio, the sudden silence leaving me with only the sound of my own steady breathing and the tires crunching along the gravel. That's when I heard it, soft, almost imperceptible. A whispering voice carried on the wind. "Help me." My heart raced. The voice sliced through the quiet with a chilling clarity. Was I imagining things? But then, a profound sadness washed over the air around me. It felt almost surreal, like a dream pulled from the depths of my subconscious. I slowed the car, apprehensive, the sense of dread clawing at me from the inside out. Steeling myself, I rolled down the window. The wind whipped through, carrying with it an unexpected chill. My breath misted in the air as I strained to hear, desperate to discern whether someone or something was out there. "Is someone there?" I called out, my voice shaky and unsure, an echo off the vast and empty landscape. No response came, just the rustle of grass and the incessant whispering that seemed to envelop me. That's when I caught a glimpse, something standing just beyond the reach of my headlights. My stomach twisted as my brain tried to make sense of the figure. It was draped in a long, tattered dress, almost moth-eaten, the color lost to the shadows. The hair hung in disarray, tangled and silhouetted against the night sky. I blinked, half expecting it to vanish, but it remained, an unsettling fixture in the gloom. I felt a compulsion, a magnetic pull, toward that figure. Against my better judgment, I opened the door, stepping out onto the deserted road. The chill was bone deep, and I shivered from more than just the cold. As I took a tentative step closer, the figure slowly turned to face me, its features obscured. And then it spoke again, the voice a faint echo of despair. "Help me!" My pulse quickened. The realization hit me like a stone. This was no living person. I wanted to turn and run, to leap back into the safety of my car, but my feet felt heavy, trapped in the mud of a nightmare. Instinct screamed at me to retreat, but there was something unnerving about the sorrow in that whisper that kept me rooted. "Why?" I croaked, my throat dry. "What do you need?" "I can't leave." "Him!" The figure pointed a trembling finger down the road. I followed its gesture, eyes straining into the blackness beyond. The weight of countless years pressed against me, a history tainted with loss. I felt as if I were being drawn into a dark abyss, the air thickening with tension. And then, as if responding to some unspoken command, the figure took a step toward me. A cold wind whipped through the highlands, causing the hem of its dress to flutter as if caught in a hidden storm. Panic surged through me. I turned, adrenaline coursing as I sprinted back to my car, heart pounding, lungs burning. I fumbled with the keys, my hands shaking so hard that it felt like an eternity before I could start the engine. Finally, the low rumble cut through the silence, and I sped away, tearing through the night. As I drove, I kept glancing in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see the figure chasing after me. But the road was empty, merely a dark ribbon stretching toward the unknown. Yet still, I could hear that whisper, a haunting refrain that clung to the edges of my sanity. "Help me!" Despite the distance I covered, that night has woven itself into the fabric of my being. Even now, as I sit here recounting my experience, I can feel the chill of those highlands seeping into my bones. I return to that moment often, questioning the reality of what I witnessed. Was it a manifestation of grief, a restless spirit trapped in a timeless battle, or simply a figment of my imagination, wrought by darkness and despair? The truth is, I can't say for sure. What I do know is that some paths in the Highlands are best left unexplored, and some whispers are better left unheard. And now, more than ever, I understand the weight of the past, how it lingers and festers like a fog reaching eagerly across the moors. To this day, I wonder if the figure still waits, lost in time, somewhere along that road, forever grasping for help that may never come. Please like and subscribe for more chilling paranormal from Dark Side Off the Void.